Good morning. I am 4 minutes earlier today. As always, if you're watching in recording, you're welcome to fast forward or stay with us through our hellos. As usual, I'm going to check the sound. Good morning. The sound seems to be good. Good morning, Zazu. Good morning, Vicky. Nice to see you here live. Good morning, Gina. Good morning, Sandra. All right, it is time for us to start. As we continue to explore all the ways to cultivate conscious, authentic relationships, today I would like to offer you a reflection on fairness. Sharon Salzberg writes, with our close friends, family members, and lovers, we hope to create a special world, one in which we can expect to be treated fairly, with care, tenderness, and compassion. We hope to trust that the commitment we've made to each other is mutual and that we'll work actively to keep it alive. Janet Hibbs, a family psychologist whose clinical approach involves relationship ethics, describes a radical rethinking and thoughtful negotiation of the fundamental aspects of fairness being at the center of a good relationship. She writes about the challenges of fairness, even though she notes it's a lesson most of us feel we learned long ago. We all think we know what's fair and what's not fair, but we don't always agree with a spouse, or partner, or child, or friend. And then what? She says fairness is a muddled mix of beliefs, traditions, and multiple and sometimes opposing truths. I'll read it again because I think it's so important. Fairness is a muddled mix of beliefs, traditions, and multiple and sometimes opposing truths. And yet we all need to learn how to be fair to keep our relationships healthy and make love last. And again, we're talking about all relationships, not just romantic ones. This advice requires a willingness to let go of long-held positions and to approach issues from a fresh perspective. A willingness to begin again, as we do in meditation when our attention wanders. What if we stop keeping score? What if we stop needing to be right? What if we stop doing things the way we used to just because that's what we know best? What if we become open to the possibility that there are other paths available to us in relating to ourselves and to other people? If we are really thinking about the relational ethics of our relationships, that means I am sponsoring you to have the best life you can, and you are sponsoring me to do the same. We are kind of co-sponsors. We regard our time together as a collaborative effort to make life better for each other. It also means we don't keep a ledger. Like, I've done 3 good things for you, so when are you going to do your 3 good things for me? Real love does not keep score. We are aware that from time to time, one person's needs will take precedence, or another person cannot contribute as much as before. For example, a friend becomes ill and needs extra help for a month or two. A close colleague needs to crash after breaking up with their partner. Yet each person must feel seen and respected, with their needs taken into account. Mutuality is one of life's greatest balancing acts. Sharon Salzberg tells this story. In the very first discussion group I held to help me explore the topic of real love, one man said, most people think of a good relationship as 50-50. My dog and I, we are 100-100. And this is such a great way of looking at love between partners, parents, friends, and others. 100-100. Everybody gives their best. Ideally, in relationships, reciprocity is a seesaw of turn-taking, which has a very generous feel. People usually recount quid pro quo accountancy for of who owes what to whom only when there's a felt or real violation of this give and take. The trick, of course, is what counts to whom. And this is a largely unspoken deal which requires renegotiation when things go wrong, when the seesaw gets stuck in a power play. You owe me and I'm in control, or I owe you, but what are the terms of repayment? Things like that. It's very important to remember that what might count as a gesture of kindness or generosity to one person might be something that would go completely unnoticed by the other. And there is fundamentally nothing wrong with having different emotional value systems. What does matter is establishing a secure and mutual vocabulary within our relationships, to know the kinds of things that count to each other, not in order to maintain a transactional system, but to give authentically, with the intention of merely giving, rather than giving something we think counts. So let's do an exercise now that will help us understand what fairness means to us. Take a comfortable position, and as always, take a few moments to settle. Settle into your body, your mind, your heart. This moment, right here, right now. Keeping your breath nice and soft, allow some spaciousness in your breathing, so that all the experiences of the present moment, your physical sensations, thoughts, emotions, can simply flow through you as energy, without any struggle. Remember that the relational ethics psychologist Hibbs defines fairness as a muddled mix of beliefs, traditions, and multiple and sometimes opposing truths. And of course, the idea of playing fair in our relationship is complicated by the fact that we all have our own definition of what it means to be fair. When we're clinging to our own definition of fairness during a conflict, it's not that we are not being fair, but we may not be as open as we could be to the notion of this muddled mix of beliefs. We are not as open to a compromise. So let me pose a few questions to you. Those are designed to help you consider the qualities of fairness you value in relationships. You may find that certain qualities are more important to you than others, or even that a particular behavior or lack thereof might be non-negotiable. I'll take pauses between the questions so that you can really listen inwardly for the answer. Don't try to respond just from logic. Engage your felt sensations in the body. Engage the yearnings of your heart and spirit. The first question is very broad. What does fairness mean to me? What does this word and concept of fairness mean to me? What behaviors or ways of communicating do I value in others? What behaviors and ways of communicating do I value in others? Did I experience any issues with trust or notions of fairness in my childhood or in certain past relationships? Did I experience any issues with trust or notions of fairness in my childhood or past relationships? What has been my experience with generosity in relationships? Do I tend to give more than I get? Do I keep track of these dynamics or find myself drawn to people who keep score? What has been my experience with generosity in relationships? Do I tend to give more than I get? Do I keep track of these dynamics or do I find myself drawn to people who keep score? And now place your hands on your heart, thanking yourself for doing this exercise. And let's send ourselves some loving kindness. Repeat after me, silently or out loud. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well in body and mind. May I feel safe, protected, at ease. May I know deep, natural peace. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well in body and mind. May I feel safe, protected, at ease. May I know deep, natural peace. And as you gently let go of your practice, as always, scan your body. Notice what's going on for you right now, physically, emotionally, mentally. How are you, really? And as you go through your day today, I invite you to continue this reflection. What does fairness mean to me? I will post the same questions we explored in this practice so that you can journal around it too if you'd like. Enjoy your discoveries. Thank you so much for being here today. Have a gorgeous day, and I will see you tomorrow.